I had a pet lizard named George. He was cool, but he made me really bored. So I gave him to my mom, and she loves him very much because animals are better than people.
Sometimes on American Idol, a contestant comes along whose performance is so baffling that it becomes unforgettable, not for vocal brilliance, but for sheer shock value. In season 23, that moment belonged to Sophie Powers, whose strange, monotone delivery of her original song left the judges stunned and the internet buzzing. Though she was quickly rejected from the competition, Sophie's audition went viral instantly. But here's the twist, she's not actually a bad singer. In fact, her bizarre performance was a calculated move. Join us as we tell you what you didn't know about Sophie Powers from American Idol. Sophie Powers, born Sophie Luborsky on July 29, 2004, in Toronto, Canada, had quite a musical childhood. Her father, a former musician, frequently played a diverse array of genres at home, including classical, rock, grunge, and reggae. This eclectic exposure deeply influenced Sophie's musical sensibilities. From as young as 5, Sophie exhibited a strong passion for singing, prompting her to request formal singing lessons. By the age of 7, she was already writing her own songs, and by 8, she had begun recording them. Her early musical education included learning the guitar and violin, though she eventually focused on the guitar, which became a central instrument in her songwriting process. She drew inspiration from pop icons like Lady Gaga and Kesha, whose bold personas and genre-defying music resonated with her. Simultaneously, her father's affinity for rock introduced her to artists such as Nirvana and Bruce Springsteen. When Sophie was 15, she performed her own songs at a summer camp, and the positive feedback from other campers gave her a big boost of confidence. That moment helped her realize she wanted to focus on music full-time. With support from her parents, she switched to online school so she could spend more time making music. When Sophie turned 16, she made the big move to Los Angeles to dive fully into songwriting and music production. It was a brave choice that showed just how serious she was about building a career as an artist. Before her viral appearance on American Idol, Sophie Powers had already carved out a distinctive space for herself in the alternative music scene. Her professional music career began with the release of her debut single Lonely Army in 2021. With its punchy production and lyrics reflecting teenage frustration and emotional isolation, the song struck a chord with Gen Z listeners. In 2022, she released her debut EP Red in Revenge, a 7-track project that fully introduced the world to her sonic identity. The EP was a bold and emotionally charged mix of punk energy, pop hooks, and hip-hop edge. It tackled themes such as mental health, empowerment, and growing pains, all filtered through Sophie's distinctive lens of self-expression. Tracks like Greed, Life Goes On, and Clearview demonstrated her knack for catchy yet introspective songwriting, while her collaboration with other emerging artists like No Offense and Atori Zoom expanded her reach within alternative circles. Critics responded to Red in Revenge with praise for its raw honesty and fearless experimentation. By the time 2023 arrived, Sophie had built a small yet devoted fan base. In March 2025, Sophie took the stage during the 23rd season of American Idol, delivering one of the most unconventional auditions in the show's history. Dressed in a pastel pink coat and green pants adorned with heart-shaped patches bearing her initials, she introduced her original song, STFU, as a tear-jerker. However, the performance quickly revealed itself as a satirical spoken-word piece filled with expletives and absurdist humor. The lyrics ranged from anecdotes about a pet lizard named George to a rapid-fire list of entities she wished would shut the F up, including Karens, vegans, babies, laundry, and even dinosaurs. The judges, Carrie Underwood, Lionel Richie, and Luke Bryan, were visibly taken aback. Carrie described Sophie as interesting, but questioned her fit within the show's context. Richie expressed being mortified, while Luke joked that his wife would likely play the song for him every evening. Despite the humorous reactions, all 3 judges unanimously decided not to advance her to the next round. Though her audition did not secure her a spot in the competition, Sophie left a big impact, challenging the show's norms and sparking widespread discussion. The audience reaction to Sophie's American Idol audition was swift, intense, and widespread. Within hours of the episode's airing, her performance became a trending topic across multiple social media platforms. Her singing clips were rapidly shared on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, generating hundreds of thousands of views and sparking fierce debate. On TikTok, her clip evolved into a viral sound, with users either recreating the moment, sharing commentary, or using it as a background for memes. Many viewers praised her for breaking the mold of what an American Idol contestant should be, applauding her boldness and refusal to tone down her personality. On YouTube, comments flooded in from both supporters and skeptics. While a significant number of fans viewed the audition as a brave act of self-expression, others felt it was intentionally provocative. Some interpreted the song choice and styling as an attempt to shock rather than impress, while others appreciated her courage in presenting an unfiltered version of herself. Social media influencers and music commentators began dissecting her performance in reaction videos, further amplifying her reach. Meme culture also played a major role in the audition's viral trajectory. While the judges may have passed on her, much of the audience saw her as one of the most unforgettable acts of the season. Recently, Sophie Powers responded to the online attention with calm self-assurance. She addressed the buzz across her social media platforms, making it clear that her performance was a deliberate artistic statement rather than an attempt to conform to the show's expectations. According to Sophie, her goal had been to present her authentic self in a space that traditionally favors more conventional acts. She acknowledged the polarized response but maintained that the reaction, whether it was positive or critical, validated her approach. In particular, viewers had become fixated on the piece of medical tape that Sophie wore across her nose during the audition. Online speculation quickly snowballed, with some assuming it was due to an injury, while others debated whether it had symbolic meaning. Sophie clarified that the tape served no medical purpose. Instead, it was a styling choice, part of her fashion-forward, intentionally offbeat image. She often uses visual elements, including accessories and makeup, to challenge aesthetic norms and provoke curiosity. The tape, in her view, was simply another layer of visual storytelling, aligning with the rebellious tone of her performance. Beyond her musical endeavors, Sophie has been making significant strides in the fashion industry, channeling her artistic vision into clothing design. From a young age, she exhibited a keen interest in fashion, often sketching clothing ideas and designing her own outfits. Her unique aesthetic draws inspiration from various sources, including anime, cyber-futuristic design, manga illustrations, and grunge fashion subcultures. In a notable collaboration, Sophie partnered with Japanese brands Gloomy Bear and AC/DC Rag Harajuku to create a collection that merges Harajuku street fashion with her punk-infused style. The collection, released in 3 colorways, embodies a blend of chaotic cute aesthetics and nostalgic rebellion. To celebrate the launch, she hosted a rave in Tokyo, bringing together the city's underground scene for a night of music and fashion. Sophie often designs her own performance outfits, ensuring that her visual presentation aligns with her musical themes. Her approach to fashion is deeply personal, aiming to empower others to embrace their individuality. Looking ahead, Sophie has expressed intentions to launch her own clothing brand, focusing on inclusivity and eccentric designs. While the brand's launch has faced delays due to logistical challenges, she remains committed to bringing her vision to life. In essence, Sophie is not simply building a career, she's crafting a cultural movement. With bold ideas and an unwavering sense of self, she continues to chart a course that defies conventional trajectories.